obviously it's still very important,
Yeah.
but in a way it's like, if these lanes go stable, I actually think solo laners have more of a chance to shine now.
This is Zento from Esports Heaven, and I have here with me Revenge from Immortals. You, by the skin of your teeth, man. That FlyQuest game. Walk me through the very end, because you got this really sick flank, and I feel like FlyQuest didn't know what to do then, because wasn't there Azir kind of exposed?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Azir can't really play properly for Squin if she's in his face. I wasn't really getting many angles because I think the way we were team fighting was pretty poor leading up to that. I think we lost a few skirmishes, we lost one big team fight, and in all those team fights I couldn't really do any damage to Azir, which was just because of a combination of things. I think, yeah, it was just really important that we found a way for me to get on top of him, because if I use my W spacing properly, he can't really ult me, like that showed in this situation. And that kind of leaves him really exposed, as you said, yeah.
So we noticed that there was, basically your guys' win condition was Drakes, and Kenvi, he had some focus on Drakes throughout the entire series. So let me just ask, how has it been integrating him into like the team environment and whatnot?
No, Ken is great, honestly. He's, like, I think there's like two different types of rookies. I think there's the type of rookie that needs kind of time to kind of like hit his head against a wall, get his ego smashed, and then rise back up. And I think at least the Ken V we got right now is kind of at the point where he's really humble. He accepts criticism, and he's just constantly improving. And he's, honestly, I don't think anyone has really seen his full potential yet in LCS. I think he had a great game, but he'll have an even better one tomorrow, I'm sure of it.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, just be on the lookout for him. I think he's a great rookie, and it was not hard to integrate him at all. It's like super nice working with him.
So I want to understand from maybe a top laner's perspective, what's maybe the most important thing that you need to get on page one when it comes to playing with a jungler and maybe trying to mesh your style together with a jungler?
I mean, the way lane is played as a laner in both mid and top is you have to manage every wave that comes depending on what your jungler is doing. So there's like two things. So if your jungler has really good instincts and they're naturally playing the game well, you can kind of just follow up on that and, do what you need to do with your waves to make sure that you're not getting exposed or in a bad situation because of the enemy jungler. And that's why I think Ken V's instincts are really good already when he came into LCS now with that. So I don't really struggle and like feeling like, oh my gosh, my jungler is wasting his time or doing the wrong thing. So now it's really hard for me to play the game. I feel like the biggest thing that I needed to acclimate with Ken V is just kind of having that solid communication about when he should just gank or when he should, do Rift Herald. I think those are two really big early game things that I think that we're still, working on getting on the same page on, but we're, I think, at a good spot. Mainly like with ganking, it's like, should he not gank here? Should he gank here? Sometimes he wants to gank, but I don't want him to, or it's vice versa. Like we're kind of like still figuring that out together, but I think we're getting on like a pretty good system together. And honestly, like I said, I think his instincts are really good already. So for me, it's already been quite easy to just play off of what he's doing and trusting him. So that's been nice.
So talk to me about maybe last split. Not the best,
Terrible, but yeah.
But in that regard, there has to be something that you could take away from that. Some learning, some changing of philosophy.
Yeah.
Maybe what was that for you? What was that for the team?
It's funny because we were on like a really big loss streak. I don't remember how big it was, but I was standing outside LCS and I think Licorice came up to me and he was just like, you actually learn a lot more from losing. And I think we were both on loss streaks at the time, so it was some good copium for each other, but it was actually like really true because I feel like I've actually learned a lot about how the game works from a jungle support perspective because I feel like last split we were really desynced in jungle support and just how we played together with jungle and support as a team. Not like saying our jungle and support was the issue, but it was like a team thing, you know. And I was able to learn their roles a lot better through that and kind of understand as a top laner the best I can do to make sure that I'm playing well around my jungle and support. And that's, to me, invaluable because I don't think I would learn that like as well as I have if I was playing with, you know, players like that just constantly told me how to play the game, for example. You know, like there's some players like who naturally are just good at doing that. But I was able to kind of learn now how I can be the best top laner for the map. It took me a lot of losing to figure that out and exposing as a team.
Yeah.
So I feel a lot more well-rounded as a player now.
So speaking of support, you have Ignar now.
Yeah.
What's it like with him? Because, you know, everyone knows his playstyle. He's like that X Factor kind of guy. And it seems like his style is very chaotic, but just from the small sample size of what you have playing with him, how do you feel his style is? How do you feel the integration with him?
Well, it's funny because, I mean, Ignar is one of my best friends. I played with him. I played under him on FlyQuest when he went to Worlds with Power of Evil. And when I was an academy player at the time, I watched all the LCS scrims. I was constantly involved with the LCS team. I actually lived with the LCS team at the time as the academy player in a team house. So I got really close with them, and I know a lot about how he thinks about the game and plays the game. So assimilating with him in the team has been really easy for me because I really trust how he wants to start fights and situations that he sees because he's extremely vocal about when he wants to fight, how he wants to fight, the angles he's looking for. And yeah, I think in really like critical games like this where we fall behind from team fighting, he's still able to go into the next team fight ready to find a good angle for us and do the right thing, not choke under the pressure. And that's really, really good to have in a team because yeah, I think one of the hardest things as a team is team fighting, you know, like being all on the same page and being like a good team fighting team, you know. I think Ignar is always going to be a player slotted into a team to kind of help push that
envelope a little bit.
Yeah, push that and make everyone get on his page and, you know, win through him.
So you also do have a new bot laner as well, Lost. And I want to tie this into what everyone is saying the meta is, which is very bot lane focused. We're seeing a lot of AD carries banned in the pick and ban phase. And it's quite a different contrast from before where it was more, it's the solo laner game show, you know. And I guess from your perspective, how do you feel about possibly losing more agency as a top laner?
I mean, this year has been definitely strange. I think top lane has gotten, and solo lanes in general, both top and mid, are much more on the back foot now. I think bot lane is extremely important, especially last split. I think it's still really important this split as well, but last split was literally you will win or lose from your bot lane for pretty much like, I'd say like 90% of the split. It was very important that you had a strong bot lane because of the champions, you know, Jinx, Aphelios, but I think the meta this split is more skill-centric toward bot lane. I think there's a lot of these like combating 2v2 lanes, which are, obviously it's still very important, but in a way it's like, if these lanes go stable, I actually think solo laners have more of a chance to shine now because the champions aren't such insane hyper carries. But the biggest issue right now, or not issue, but the way the game is played now is that if bot lane does have a lead, the way they influence the map makes it very hard for solo laners to play. It makes, like for example, in our game versus TL, when we are losing bot side and they're able to transition and swap their bot lane to top lane, it makes their top laner get gold, you know? It makes their mid laner get gold as well. Like their map play, their agency on the map can actually skew the solo lanes a lot. And that's just kind of been how players or just pro play has developed over this last year, is just understanding how to transition bot leads. And I think that every region's getting really good at it now. And I'm really curious what Riot will do if they do want to change that. But I think for now, it's not only just a matter of like, oh, bot lane is just strong because of the champions. It's more like just bot lane strong because of like what their influence on the map is based on their lead. And teams have just gotten really good at using that, you know, and just exploding the game. And I think, you know, it'll take, I'm not sure if that will change maybe next season or something, but it seems to be like a constant now that Riot wants to keep in the game. So have to just adapt and get good at it.
Well, I hope they keep Gwen pretty strong because that worked out very well for you. So,
Yep.
And I hope you can maybe learn something also from a win too. So that feels pretty good.
Yeah. Winning definitely feels good.
All right. Well, this has been Azento from Esports Heaven and Revenge from Immortals. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.